Hi, everybody. I am super excited to introduce you to a new tool we have been working on for quite some time. It's called Rocket Connect, and we're going to be able to start rolling that out into your account starting today. So I'm really excited to show you around. But before I do, I want to give you a little bit of background on why we have Rocket Connect, what it's for, and then I'm going to give you a demo and show you around. So, what we hear from, your customers all the time when we're looking at detractors and even, promoters, and we're trying to figure out what can we do to get them to buy more and even improve retention. The thing that we hear again and again and again is communication and how important communication is. But as we dig a little bit deeper, it's not just any type of communication. It's not just sending something to send something. They really want additional value. What they're looking for is communication also outside of the normal communication patterns, such as new customer renewal time, rate increase, coverage change, that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that we call market-based communication. That's communication that's sort of expected because it's, baked into their product. But remember, your job is to continue to be an expert and continue to provide value throughout the relationship. And when you can do that, people aren't going to forget about you. They're going to actually refer more. They're more likely to leave, positive online reviews and talk about you to their friends and family. Essentially, what I'm saying is more regular, personal, valuable communication that positions you as an expert is going to drive more referrals, more reviews. It's going to improve retention, and all around it's the right thing to do. But how do you do that? How do you go about doing that? We have been asked, for example, to do newsletters and things like that for a long time. And as we do our own research on newsletters and we look at companies that are sending them and we look at examples of newsletters, what we find is that they're just simply not working. And they're not working because people know that newsletters are mass communication. These are things that are sent to all of your clients. And it's not really building a one-to-one relationship with people. It wasn't thought about for that specific customer. Instead, you said, I'm just going to make it easy and share everything with everyone, and people can kind of pick and choose what they want. You might be segmenting newsletters, okay? You might be saying, I'm going to send out 5 different types of newsletters, if it's 5. That's still, you have those only 5 audiences. What we need is instead one-on-one communication, things that are made specifically for one person to the other. And that's going to hopefully encourage them to communicate with you more regularly, to actually respond to those types of emails and that type of thing. If someone feels like an email was sent directly to them, they're more likely to respond, they're more likely to actually build a better relationship with those people. So we knew all that, but how do you go about automating that? How do you take newsletters, just as an example, and turn them into something that can really build powerful relationships? And what we found is that it's not about the amount of content that's in your newsletters. People don't read it anyway. If you look at click-through rates on newsletters and things like that, you're probably going to have a few links in there that are clicked a majority of the time, if they're clicked at all. But people are not clicking on one and then the other, and the other, and the other, and the other. They're not going to do it that way. So really, the newsletter is about building the relationship, right? Or any content like that. And so what we've done is we've boiled it down to the essence. The essence is you're going to send somebody a valuable piece of content and you're going to ask for some input on it. So we're going to say, hey, John, found this link online, thought that you might be interested in it. Let me know what you think, right? So that's essentially what Rocket Connect is going to do for you, except it's going to completely automate it. And it's going to find people that need that type of communication at the right time. So we're looking at their begin dates and their end dates, and we're connecting all of that with other pieces in Rocket Referrals to make sure that we're not sending too much communication and that we're sending it right in the middle or at the right time, based upon other pieces of communication. So we're probably going to get a lot of questions about when do you send Rocket Connect, and it's a very hard answer or question to answer because it's unique to every single person and every individual. Just like every other piece of communication in Rocket Referrals, we look at a lot of things, a profile of that customer, what have we already sent them? How engaged are they in prior content, and that kind of thing. Have they clicked this or not that? And then we're scheduling other communication. And we bake all of that into, one thing, and then just let you essentially pick the content that you want to send to people, and we take care of the rest. And hopefully at the end of this, and what you're going to see is people do feel more appreciated. They feel more connected with you, and you are sending them awesome content. So I want to give you a quick demo, show you around how this thing works, and I'm really excited to get your input and your feedback. So I'm going to shrink my head here, and I'm going to move it off to the edge so that you can see things. And welcome to Rocket Connect. So you'll see a new Rocket Connect section over here on the left side. And the middle link here is maybe where you're going to spend most of your time, but it's called My Library. So we have taken all of your content and we've broken it down into, or put it into one library. And then also you have the ability to subscribe to someone else's library. And I'm going to kind of demo that and show you what it looks like. And we have also partnered with some really well-known and well-respected content, our companies in the industry from a variety of different products that have gone out and curated a ton of content for you. I'm going to show you that stuff too. But what I want to start with is My Library and kind of give you an example of how you might go about using that. So let's say I'm on the web and I find an article that I think is interesting. Now, this is just a does your car insurance cover regular repairs article. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be in our content library or not, but I just grabbed it as an example. So I can go out to Rocket Referrals. I can go to My Library and paste this link in here. And what we're going to do is go pull some content already from that article and put it in Rocket Connect for you. So you don't have to worry about putting the title of the article or anything like that. We just get it straight from the website. So another thing you can do is filter this down to a specific list. So this particular article is about people, car insurance. So I may want to select a list that is auto only. This particular sample account doesn't have, but maybe I have this auto policy win-back campaign. Maybe that actually makes sense. I want to make sure that if they did leave, does their current policy cover it? So once I've selected the list, and if I select no list, then that will be eligible to go to anybody, and then we're just going to be sending the communication to anybody who makes sense that hasn't been communicated with in a while, right? So now we have a section down here. It's really important. It says, what do you want people to know about this link? And this is where you can really put your spin and your opinion on this. This is important because we want you to be the expert. We want you to be seen as an expert to your customers and prior customers in this case, and it's important to kind of put an opinion on here. So, for now, I'm just going to say this is a great article that answers some of the most common questions we get about auto coverage. So the important part down here is that our sample emails or our default templates always end with "let me know what you think." And the idea is to encourage people to respond to this. So now that we have this article, I can just hit save, and we have that article in our library. And so now that this is in our library, it's going to be eligible to send to the people on that list, that auto list. I'm going to actually edit this just to show you can change this list and later in the future. Let's see, I'm going to do it to all contacts for now, just so that we can get some samples scheduled in the future more. Maybe I'll pick another article anyway. So now that I have this in my library, it's going to be eligible to send. But you may be asking, well, wait a second, do I have to go, add a ton of links and, work really hard on building up this content library? Well, the answer to that is no. And that's because we have partnered with some people that I was talking about earlier to help you with that already. So We have Forge 3, Paradiso Presents, Brightbee, Agency Performance Partners. These guys have done a fantastic job of going out to the web, finding engaging content, in some cases even writing some content for Rocket Connect that you can send to your customers. And we have made it available inside of the Find Content section here. So if we click on that, we see all of the content that they have curated. And if you find something that is interesting, let's just grab this one on time management. You can go read this article if you would like, which I definitely recommend you do, and then add it to your own library. So from here, you can filter it down to a list. You can change the public aspect. You can, most importantly, change the opinion, your opinion about the article after you've read it. And then we hit save. And now that article is in my library. So you can see we have a couple of different things. So we can just go load this up. Let's look at some Paradiso's content here. Let's do, see, I don't think I have a commercial list on here. Making New Year's resolutions that stick. This is a really good timely one. So let's put that out there. Now, one like this, you may want to remove from your library after, the new year, after the first quarter or something like that, because it may only be relevant for a certain time period. But now we have 3 different links out here that are going to be able to send to people. And so we're really excited to have this partner content in there because it make it super easy for you to send awesome content to your people with almost no time, right? It's just you picking the articles that you find are most interesting. But we've gone a step further. Once you have curated your own, list and would like to share that with people, so like let's say you want to share it with people on Rocket Squad, or you feel like you are a content curation expert and want to share, the articles that you have found, or you think that there's some articles that we missed inside of the featured, section there, you can share your own library. So if you click this link to share your library, this link you can send to anybody using Rocket Referrals, and they can even subscribe it. So let me show you where you manage those. If you go to My Subscriptions, you'll be able to put a subscription in here. So I actually have a quick link to Rocket Referrals library. So I'm going to copy that. We'll put that in here, and I'm going to subscribe to our library. So right now I just have one article in here, but this is an article about writing the perfect email. If you click on this, you can see I wrote a little quick context. It's a great article we've used internally to help our own team write better emails. Think it'd be a great fit for you to share as well. So you're going to start to see Rocket Connect things come to you that are going to be, relevant articles that we find online that we think that you would be interested in. It might be links to our own blog, might be links to other people's blog, but the idea is that this is content that you're going to love, or that we think would be useful for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that. I can change the context if I want, but then you can see I'm subscribed to the Rocket Referrals library here, and if you subscribe to another one, you'll see those listed as well. If you no longer want to get Rocket Referrals content, you can just unsubscribe, and you'll no longer get that content. So essentially, we've made it very easy for you to add content to your library. But once you have that, what do? Where do we go from here? Now that we've had some content in our library, we can go to settings, and we click configure here. Just like we do with all of our communication types, we can just turn Rocket Connect on with the flip of a switch. And once you do that, we're going to go out and find people that need some communication and start to communicate with them. So you'll see Rocket Connect now has its own item here. We can just simply turn it on. If you're curious on the emails that are going out to people, you can click on the 3 little dots here and change those templates. So let's take a quick look at those. So we have created some templates for you that we think are working well to start with, but you're more than welcome to change those. Now we have 3 different versions of this template, which is important because we want to make sure that as these pieces of communication are sent, they are personal, right? So the very first email is different. It's the one that's very unique. I'm going to show a preview. This is the one that kind of introduces the idea of you sending content to your customers, right? We don't want to just all of a sudden start to send out links without them understanding why and that kind of thing. So we talk about, what types of links you're going to be sending and that kind of thing. And then we start them out with a quick link. So this is a sample. It just links to Rocket Referrals and the email preview, but they all end with this, which says, let me know what you think. Now you can change this if you want, but the idea is we're trying to get a response. We want people to respond to the emails, and that's why that's important. So the next emails are a lot more simple, or a lot simpler. Saw this today, thought you might find it interesting, link, and then we give you the context that you wrote in there. So if this were the one about writing emails, it would say, we use this internally and thought it might be useful for you and that kind of thing. So and then we have a third email that's going to go out on all future ones. Again, it's very simple. Just says, saw this today, wanted to share it with you, link, and then it's in there. By the time they get that third email, they understand that you're going to be doing this on a regular basis, and this is a value add service that you're giving them, is to curate content and be an expert and share things that are important for them. So once you have your templates and you've turned it on, you should start to see some communications out there for people that haven't been communicated with in a while. So just like normal, all of our other communications, you can set it to auto approve if you want, or approve. We'll look at Rocket Connect items. And so we have a whole list of people that haven't been communicated with in a while, and Rocket Connect is going to take care of that. They're going to start sending out some emails to these people. Maybe they aren't in our survey list, or they haven't been surveyed in several months, or they haven't responded to any other types of communication. And so Rocket Connect is sort of kicking in and saying, hey, it's time to start to communicate with these people and build a better relationship. So that's basically Rocket Connect, right? Behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff we had to do to make this thing work. There was a lot of coordination with our partners to get this content in here. And we're super excited to launch it. You've probably never seen anything like this before. This is very unique, and we know that it's going to work awesome for you. So please go in, turn it on, go out to our partners, content section there, add as much content, valuable content as you can, and start to send it to your customers. And I guarantee you're going to start to get some feedback from people. And we're really interested to know what that feedback is and hear from you what you think. So I know this has been a long video, but if you do have questions after this, please ask your account managers, post in Rocket Squad, but share your thoughts. We're definitely interested to hear more. And, coming in the first quarter, we have a lot of even more exciting things, coming down the road. We're going to keep pushing the envelope, keep building new, unique, and awesome tools for you to use. And this is just another example of those. So on to the next thing, but we are definitely ready to hear your feedback on this one. So thank you very much, and we will talk to you soon.